Today, a single strike deep inside Russia shocked the world. It happened faster than anyone expected, crossing a line many believed would hold. Ukraine reached far beyond the front lines, striking a target once considered out of reach. Within hours, the Kremlin moved into crisis mode. Vladimir Putin summoned an emergency war council, while the White House finally broke its silence. What comes next could change the direction of this war entirely, and few were prepared for this moment. In short, Ukraine's bold strike inside Russian territory has triggered urgent reactions from Washington and Moscow alike. What began as a calculated military move may now carry global consequences. This single action could escalate tensions, reshape strategy, and test long-standing red lines. And behind closed doors, decisions are being made that may determine how far this conflict is willing to go. According to confirmed reports, Ukrainian forces carried out a strike deep within Russia, targeting critical military infrastructure far from the active battlefield. The operation unfolded within the last 24 hours and sent shockwaves through the region. Russian officials acknowledged the incident, while President Putin swiftly called top military and security leaders into an emergency meeting. The reason is clear. Attacks of this depth challenge Russia's sense of security and raise fears that no area is truly safe anymore. This moment did not come out of nowhere. The roots of today's escalation stretch back months. As the war dragged on, Russia intensified missile attacks, while Ukraine faced increasing pressure on the battlefield. Previously, most Ukrainian strikes were limited to occupied territories or border regions. But over time, the strategy shifted. Each escalation led to another, pushing both sides closer to a dangerous threshold. Today's strike is the result of that slow, steady build-up of tension, making this moment far more significant than a single military action. The implications are serious. For Russia, the strike exposes vulnerabilities once thought untouchable and raises urgent questions about air defense and internal security. For Ukraine, it represents both strength and risk. Analysts warn that retaliation could be swift and severe, potentially expanding the scope of the conflict. Yet others argue this pressure could force a strategic rethink or even push diplomatic channels back into focus. The difference between de-escalation and disaster may now depend on decisions made in the next few days. Reactions have been intense. Security experts describe the strike as a major escalation, while supporters see it as a necessary response to ongoing attacks. Public opinion remains deeply divided, with fear, anger, and determination all colliding at once. One question dominates the conversation. Has the war crossed a point of no return? To recap, Ukraine struck deep inside Russia, the White House responded, and Putin convened an emergency war council. But this story is far from over. What happens next could redefine regional and global security. Will this moment lead to escalation, or finally force a turning point? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for daily updates on the world's most critical political events.